Jai. 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 Sat-tila Ekadasi ki jai. Jai. Haribo.
Now we are in Vrindavan Dham. This is the transcendental Vrindavan Dham. Whether we understand the glory of Mahaprabhu Dham or not, whether we know the glories of Mahaprabhu or not. Now we are like doing Masti Kar Rahe, meaning we are playing, but we don't know the glories of Vrindavan Dham, and we don't know the need of this. We are getting nice food to eat and able to drink and nice clothes to wear, but we should know the glories of everything. It is said that at that time, when the attachment to the body leaves one, then when one takes only like Kopin and Bahirvas and simply takes care of the body, but 24 hours of the day is engaged in one's sadhana, then one can attain the Lord and the real Dham, the Aprakrita Dham, transcendental Dham. But by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas, we have come into the Dham, like schools have come into school. And we have come into the highest class of school, the highest or topmost school. But we don't know what is the first class thing. When we study, then we can understand what is real first class or what is the meaning of that. But if we don't study, then what will we gain? The most prominent thing is that when we have come into such a good school and have received such a good master and such a good system and sisters and brothers, and everything is favorable, we have received everything favorable. Now, if we do not study properly, then what will we gain? If we study nicely, then we will get a good result, and the result will be that we will become a very good person. That for 20 years you will work hard to study, but you will eat from that for 80 years. But in Vrindavan, if you work hard just one life, then that will give you benefit for millions of lives. It will never be lost. But Helaya Harainu Gaura Bahu Navajiya Manu Prema Ratana Dhana Helaya Harainu. That we are so unfortunate. Even though we have such a great opportunity, we have no taste for it, and we are just wasting our lives. Swami Prabhupada would sing this kirtan regularly in the West. He would sing this kirtan, Gaura Bahu Navajiya Mainu. O Gaur Hari, you have given us all opportunities. What have you not done for us? You have made us a Vrindavan, like in the West. Prabhupada made a golden Vrindavan Dham temple. What was there before, and what did Prabhupada manifest? The Lord has given us everything, but now we are in Vrindavan Dham, and everything is favorable here. Still, if we do not perform sadhana, then what will be the result of that? The whole schooling college is there for us. Also, it is like we have all received free scholarships. We don't have to do hard work. We have a free scholarship here, and He has given us everything. We are like the sons of such a father, that we have such a high scholarship. Our Father has been taking care of us in His lap for so long with so much affection. Still, we do not understand the value of this. So, for example, today is Sat-tila Ekadasi. So, I want to explain something about this. I was telling that sometime this discussion came before Bhagavan. I was not only giving an introduction, but when the Lord made the 14 planetary systems in this world, and He arranged different places for all the different incarnations of the Lord, as well as for all sadhakas and siddhas. If you do a little bit of sadhana, then you get a good position. What is that? You go from Burlok, or this earth, to Swarga, heaven. Then from heavenly planets, you can go to the Janulok planet where everything is favorable to do meditation, and there's so much happiness there. Then you go to Maharlok, Tapalok, Janalok, Satyalok. In this way, he made the 14 planetary systems, the upper 7 and the 7 lower planetary systems. And you can stay in these 7 upper planetary systems very nicely. Everything has been arranged. Also, he arranged Nether Vaikuntha for Dhruva, and he arranged this Dhruva Lok that will never perish. Those who do nice sadhana in this world and who desire to serve God and who do very difficult austerities, then the Lord gives not only a scholarship or certificate, the Lord becomes his sevak and serves that person. The Lord, who went to all the different queens who were captured by Narakasur, they did such austerity for so many years, but the Lord took them out and he said, "Oh, for 1 year you did austerity for me, remembering me. Now I'm giving you such a high qualification. I'm making you my own queens. Not any maidservant, you're my own queens. Not only so much opulence and nice palaces, but my own queens." Where he even left the gopis in Braj. The gopis served Krishna since childhood. But look, those princesses who were imprisoned by Narakasura and who were like the princesses of other, like here, people criticize Krishna. Oh, what did Krishna do? He stole. Like here they say Krishna danced with the wives of other men, but no one criticizes Krishna for marrying all the 16,000 queens. But they were other queens of other people, and who had been imprisoned by Narakasura. There were others girls, or they were betrothed to other men, but no one criticized Krishna for that. And there was no consideration, oh, who is a Sudrani, who is a Shatrani, who is a Brahmani. No one criticizes Krishna in Dwarka, but in Braj, when Krishna danced and sang, when they were only 5, 6, 7, or 9 years old, then they criticized Krishna for that. In 9, 8-year-old children, what is the criticism for that? They're just playing. But people, oh, their eyes are breaking, their hearts are breaking, their head is breaking. But there, they never criticize Krishna. Oh, Dwarka is nice, he is Dwarkadish. There's no fault there, they think. What Krishna is like, Krishna stole also. He stole Rukmini from another person's house, he stole Jambavati, he took Satyabhama. But no one gives fault for Krishna there. Why? Why is there no fault there? Like you're stealing someone else's daughter or someone else's wife. But here he is with his own Jat Pat, with his own caste, with his own family, and he played with them. But everyone thinks there's fault in that. When the Lord, he made all the different planetary systems, and after that, the sages began to pray to the Lord, "Oh Lord, please tell us something. You gave full arrangement of happiness or sukh, but the living entities are still not happy or peaceful. However much you give someone, you cannot please anyone. From a child to an old person, if someone says, 'I am happy with you, I am pleased by your service, I don't want anything more,' well, you will not find someone like that. They want more and more. But what do you want? What will you do with all these things?" So the Lord says, "I created everything, and I've given you so many things for the happiness of all living entities. I've arranged everything. However, even after that, you do not think that there's anything, and you are not happy, and still you cannot do anything. If a mother and father even give their blood to their children or grandchildren, then they still say, 'What have you done for me?' They are still ungrateful. Guru does everything for his disciples. He has done austerity his whole life, and then he gives that to his disciples. He does not keep anything for himself. That whoever they accept as their own, they have to give them so much. They have to take them free of anarthas and put them into the line of bhakti. They have to give them so many things so that they will be appropriately able to serve the Lord. But that person is a real honest person who has gratitude to his Guru. But mostly people are ungrateful, or are kritagya. Now we'll go to the actual truth. So when the sages tasted or wrote and tasted and looked at all the different sastras and Upanishads and so forth. But still, they saw they were not happy. And also, no one else is happy. Their disciples are not happy, their gurus are not happy. Then, the sages prayed to the Lord, why are we not happy? Then he began to smile. And the Lord said, look, as long as you have not pleased the Lord Paramatma Parameshwar, then how will you be happy? The Lord is our master and everything for us, our Father, Creator, everything. So please Him. If you can do even a little bit to please Him, then you will receive tenfold or 100-fold in return. But if you have not done something for the Lord, then it is never possible for you to be happy. Everyone does everything for themselves, but who does anything for the Lord, Prabhu? So the sages said, who will teach us what to do? Don't worry. Mage Prayage, there's a slok. In the month of Magh, when you go to Prayagraj or stay there, you stay there for 1 month in the month of Magh at the bank of Jamuna, Saraswati and Jamuna, the confluence of these 3 holy rivers, Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati. All the big sages, kings, gurus and disciples, they would all come to the place of Prayag and there perform austerities. And they would do yagyas, kirtan, feasts and festivals, harikatha for 1 month. They would bathe in Brahma Muhurta and then dry the cloth on their body, worship the Lord, and then they would all do so much austerities. But however much they do, that much you will receive. But what will you do with this fruit? They would take these fruits with them. Like a farmer produces in his fields, but he takes everything and leaves nothing in the field or for the field. He takes all the produce. So what do? We try to take everything for ourselves, and if we do not get it, then we lament or cry, oh, I've done so much work, but I have not gotten any fruit for it. I've done so much austerity, but where have the fruits gone? This is not foolishness. It is like more than foolishness. We are like the greatest fools. What will you do with all these things you take? You will only destroy them. You don't know how to do avadi, instead you do bharvadi. You don't know what to do. If you give a child like some very expensive gold or jewel, it will just throw it. It doesn't know what to do with it. If you give it a piece of gur, it will chew it and suck it, but it doesn't know. If you give it some very expensive thing, it will just throw it aside. So, char din ka chandi fir andere raat. We have gotten this nice body, this flesh and blood, but for how many days will it be with us? But, we pray to the Lord, give me wealth, give me a son and daughter, give me a house and family. But for whom? What will we do with it all? We cannot stay here in this world. As long as we are here, whatever is in our fate, we will get that. So why should we be crazy and waste our tapasya for these things? We have done so much austerity. Then the Lord says, look, in the month of Prayag, in the month you do Jagya, Dan, Tap, Vrat, you've done everything. But you have no good intelligence. A child, he begins to, when he starts to work and make money, then first he gives it to his father. What will the father do with the money? He will save it for the child, the son. He is not using it for himself. And that child who does not give the money he earns to his father, the father will not complain. But what will happen to the son? The father will not look after him. Why? Because he is indifferent and neglectful. And then gradually he becomes more and more independent, and then because he cannot manage everything properly, he ends up destroying everything. So we have no good intelligence. The Lord said, look, in this world, Devi, Bhagavati, Ekadasi, ask her what to do. If I tell you and you do not follow, then you will receive result of that offense. So my Guru Maharaj, I saw he would never give direct instructions, because if people do not follow them, then it is like Guru Avagya or Guru Aparad, neglect or offense to Guru. So he will say, oh, everything is in Sastra, study the scriptures, follow the sadhus, the Guru. But if you do not listen or follow him, then what will you do? So he said, go to Ekadasi Devi. She is the mother of bhakti, so ask her. She will arrange everything. All the sages said, we do vrat every day. And for many years or months, we have not taken any grains even, or we do not even take water. How do they do vrats? They go into full meditation, and they will only take a breath once in a while. Some people do not even breathe for hundreds of years. Like they stand on their fingers with their feet in the air for thousands of years. But what is the point of all this? Like Ravan did so much austerity, but why? Only to steal Lakshmi or to steal Sita. So this is the nature of foolish people. What is this horrible situation of those who are ignorant fools? They may do so much work, but they waste everything. Some people do one day Nirjala Ekadasi, but those who do other austerities, they may fast for months and months and years, but they have not taken shelter, and therefore they waste everything. They have not taken shelter of Devi. Like today is Ekadasi. In the morning you should wake and pray to Ekadasi Devi. Call her, invite her, and give her an asan. Worship her, give her archana. Oh, I worship God, people say. But no, today is Ekadashi, it is her day. First you should worship Ekadashi Devi. First offer her arti, pray to her. Then worship the Lord. But people neglect Ekadashi. They may do Nirjala and so many things. They might stay up all night and work so hard. But they have no connection to Ekadashi Devi, the goddess of Ekadasi. They have no relation or idea who she is. They think she is like some figment of imagination or some like... Therefore Mahaprabhu said, you should learn how to do Manasi Seva, internal service in the mind, not just Nam. Rupa Goswami said, Kramena Rasana Mansi Niyojaha, gradually engage your mind and your senses. So, when this was said, and when it was said to pray to her and to learn how to do this, if they don't learn, then it will not be proper. It will not advance. She is always giving blessings and the fruit of tapasya, but we do not pray to her for it. We are very proud. We do not like to beg and pray. We always want to keep our head up very high, but we don't want to bow down. We may have been foolish before, but when we are given all proper knowledge, then we should follow the proper process and not be very proud. The meaning of a vrat is to take a vow, to take a firm vow that today I will do this work. When the day of Ekadashi came, then there's the rule. First you give her an asan, a very beautiful asan. If you don't have anything else, give her like a pot of Ganga water. Otherwise, ordinary water, or like a coconut laddu, or make a swastika on the pot, and then put a coconut and give like a sari, and give padya, argya, achaman, and all these different 16 items of paraphernalia in archan. Give her then boga and incense and ghee lamp, and then sit before Ekadashi Devi, and for her pleasure, in front of her, read the Gita or Bhagavatam. Otherwise, worship Shalagram and Tulasi, and sit before them, and then chant Bhagavan's Naam mantra and pray to her. Pray to Ekadashi Devi, today, this is your auspicious day, and we are worshipping you on this day. Please, we are welcoming you. This is all for you. Please give us necessary instruction. We do not know. The realm of bhakti is very large, and the Lord is unlimited. How can we please the Lord? You have all responsibility. The Lord has given you all responsibility to save the living entities. You are His mercy potency and His own divine potency, and you are present everywhere. And the Lord has given you all responsibility for the jivas. You have all responsibility. Please give us your mercy. She is Sharnagata Vatsal. Gives so much affection to those who surrender to her. The sages, all the big kings and so forth, all together, they prayed and surrendered to Ekadasi Devi at the Prayag confluence of the three holy rivers, where Beni Madhav is present. They all bathed there in the morning and then worshipped the Lord and did japa mantra and their guru mantras and so forth. After that, they worshipped Ekadasi Devi, did a yajna and prayed to her. When Ekadasi Devi manifested, after that, she said, "Look, you've come before me. I will teach you now everything." Why? You must grab the hand of the child and teach them, or take them in your hand, or fondle them and give them so much affection. With affection, also sometimes you have to give discipline. Sometimes you feed them nicely and help them gradually advance through different ways. So, Beni Madhav, if you please him, then life after life you will be happy. And it is never possible for any suffering to come to you. And instead, again and again, you will have inspiration how to serve and please the Lord, and all this divine intelligence will come within you. Then, where will you learn everything from? You will know where to go and who to take Shatrav to learn more from. So, Ekadasi Devi said, today, this is like in the cold season, in the winter months. The sun is moving in the northern direction now, Uttarayan. Tomorrow starts Uttarayan. Day after tomorrow, perhaps. So, bring sesame and grind the sesame and place it on the Lord's body. And do a yajna with sesame and give charity of sesame and make sesame and begin to massage the Lord with pasted sesame or sesame oil. Wherever the Lord is present, you should offer the Lord a sesame oil lamp, also massage the Lord with sesame oil, also give sesame in charity and offer sesame. This sesame is very auspicious, and it was given by Lakshmi Devi to the earth as the first grains. So sesame is very auspicious. Why is the sesame so dear to the Lord? In the beginning of Sat-yuga, on the day of Akshaya Tritiya, the first day of creation, when the Lord saw that the living entities were all eating one another, jiva jivasya bhojanam, one jiva eats another jiva. So the Lord saw everyone is being destroyed like this, everyone is cannibalizing one another. So then Lakshmi Devi gave two things. One was barley and one was sesame. Therefore, you offer sattu from barley on that day. Dil is like Bhagavan's dil or heart. Sesame is like the heart of Bhagavan. Why? This has so much power. Like in barley, so much potency is there. And sesame has even more power. So the Lord, with His great love, He gave this sesame for the living entities to eat. Therefore, the first till is black sesame. There's not white. Like barley is white, and this is like Lakshmi's form. But sesame, black sesame, is like the Lord's form. So, she said, from today, begin to serve with sesame and massage the Lord with sesame oil. When sometimes we were with Gurudev and we went to Kirchhord Gopinath. We went for Mangala Arati. Kirtan was going on. And then they opened Thakurji and did Arati. After that, they took off the Lord's cloth and began to massage him with sesame oil. After massaging him with sesame oil, they gave bath to the Lord and then gave him new clothes as well as chandan, sandal, and then gave bhoga to the Lord. In Tota Gopinath, one day, the Gopinath, I don't know how much mercy Gopinath gives. One day the Pujari told me, from tomorrow you have to do service. I said, what service? They said, come. So in the morning I went, Mangalarti. Then he took me from the back door and said, today, massage the Lord with oil. Massage Gopinath, Radharani and Lalita with oil. I said, I don't know what is the desire of the Lord, the Master, but I will do as his servant describes. Also Shalagram or Gopal, there's the rule that they have so much love for sesame oil. Til ka til. Also they like sesame preparations as well as yagyas made with sesame. Also if you paste sesame and put it on the Lord's body, then he will be so happy. So this is Sat-tila Ekadasi. You serve with sesame in 6 kinds of ways, like charity of yagya. By these 6 processes, your 6 faults, Rupa Goswami says, and in our kirtan, Chaya Vega Domi, Chaya Dosha Soti, Chaya Guna Dehodase. The 6 faults will go, and the 6 good qualities will come that are described in Upadeshamrita. And they will manifest. How? So much enthusiasm will come. Usayat Nisahad Dhariyat. Faith, determination, and you will become engaged in all good activities favorable to bhakti. Then you will always have enthusiasm. You will never be hopeless or lost. Now, if your health is a little bit bad, if the mother's child is sick, then she will do everything to give health again to the child. Whatever she has to do, she will give her life even for the child. So it is said, the faith will never be lost for someone who have relationship with the Lord. If we don't have enthusiasm in the service of the Lord, then what is service? If there's no enthusiasm in kirtan or in festival, like I say, that person who does not do kirtan in front of the Lord, that is the worst wicked person. You should think, never look at that person's faith who does not do kirtan. They are the worst kind of bad association that does not do kirtan of the Lord. That person whose mouth, the kirtan does not come out of the mouth of that person, then never look at that person's face. Sukadeva Goswami said, that mouth which does not do kirtan, or their ear that is just like their tongue is like, they're only making sounds like a frog calling the snake of time to just eat them if they don't do kirtan. So we need faith. Who will give us enthusiasm? When you offer something in the Lord's service, then your faith will never, or enthusiasm will never be lost, and your nishtha, firm determination, will never be lost. The Lord is very merciful. He will not neglect you or reject you, but He wants to see your desire. Otherwise, He will not force you. Then, dharya tat tat karma pravartanat. You will be fully engaged and always engaged in His service, and also you'll never be hopeless or lost or tired. And today you will do something, and then tomorrow you'll be tired and not do anything. No, it is not like that. It is not possible. Therefore, Sangat Tyagat, give up bad association, and Sato Vrite, take shelter of those who have pure qualities and can help you advance in bhakti. Then, when you follow the limbs of bhakti or devotion, gradually you will progress like this. Therefore, the 6 faults will go, and the 6 good qualities will come, as well as the 6 ways of relating with the Vaishnavas. So the sages saw, in the jungle, just sesame grows on its own. That sesame is very strong. Once somewhere or other, it will grow of its own accord, here or there in the jungle. And it will grow here or there and open on its own accord and give the sesame. Some people can plant it, and that is another thing. But it also grows of its own accord, therefore the sages would collect this. Also, it is such a thing that goats and cows don't eat it. And its flower looks like very fine and beautiful nose. That's why we say Thakurji sometimes they will have a sesame nose, sesame flower nose. Very sharp and very sweet and beautiful. And when you do Shraddha, if you do not give sesame in charity, you have to give Tilanjali. Tilanjali means offering of til. And when we say Tilanjali, it means like an offering if you don't give Tilanjali, then it's said, oh, Shraddha is not completed, like you are not properly respecting even the deceased or any yagya. Without sesame, it is not complete. Tilanjali means like also sending off. Til, it means sesame. So it is such a thing. Oh, if you give other things in charity without sesame, oh, the Lord will not accept it. We also sing Deya Tulasi Til Deya Samarpinu Madhava Bahutaminabhi Karitoi. So we see big kings and rich businessmen, they will offer like soman, means 100 times 40, like 4,000 kilos of sesame. In Braj, you see, there will be no house in Braj where they do not make some type of sesame sweet or give sesame in charity. You will not find any house. They make so many different sweets, ladus. If someone is like a Malecha or Arya Samaji or outcast, they will not follow. But everyone who is like Dharmic religious, they will follow. So Sat-tila Ekadasi, Ekadasi Devi taught that the Lord has so much love for this sesame. So not only today, like you can have a sesame oil lamp. If you always keep an oil lamp running of sesame, or you massage the body of the Lord with sesame oil, or offer him sweets made with sesame, then he is very happy with this. Also it is said, in Vedanta Sutra there is a verse. There, in the commentary, Baladev Vijayabhushan Prabhu writes in his Govinda Bhastya commentary, when he was in Jaipur, and all the four Sampradaya leaders were there, and there was a discussion going on. They said before, oh, we should not have Radharani's Vigraha Didi with Krishna. Why? Krishna and Radharani, they are not properly related. They just were like childhood play friends. You can worship Rukmini, who is like his married wife according to the rules and regulations of scripture. How can Radharani be worshipped with Krishna? Who is this Radharani? What to speak of Radharani, Lalitha and Vishaka? Who is this Radharani? They wanted to take Radharani's Murti away from the Krishna in Jaipur. I thought, oh, what did Swami Prabhupada do? He brought all 8 Sakhis, not only Lalitha and Vishaka. Oh, you won't worship them? Then I will show you all. So in Navadvip Mayapur, he has 4 Sakhis on one side and 4 Sakhis on the other side, and Radharani and Krishna together. He said, oh, we need powerful acharyas like this. They're not afraid. Why should we be afraid? People say, oh, bring Rukmini. In Jaipur they said, take away this Radharani and bring Rukmini. And they fought so much. Then Baladev Vijayabhushan defeated them through his scripture. But they said, oh, give us proof. They said, he gave them proof, but they still did not accept. And they said, we will not accept your, because why? Your Vaishnavas, Gaudiya Vaishnavas have no commentary of the Vedanta, or Shruti, Smriti, and so forth. Then you are no real Sampradaya. You are no real line. Mahaprabhu has no real line. This is all bogus. So they began to criticize like this. Then Baladev Vijayabhushan said, give me a little time, I will collect everything and give it to you. Then he asked for time like this. Then how many days? They said, we will give you 1 month. They said, first he said 1 month. They said, no, you will be able to do something. Then 7 days. Then he said, no. They said, only 3 days. So he said, okay. Then he went to Govinda Dev and sat there and said, do you want Radharani, Govinda? Or do you want Rukmini? It's up to you. Tell me who you want. Do you want Rukmini or Radharani? Then Govinda Dev, he began to smile. He said, until today you didn't ask me. No one had the strength to ask me like this. Now tell me. So then Govinda Dev said, okay, sit here and I will tell you the commentary and you write it down. Okay? So the Lord dictated then the Govinda Bhastya commentary that is now famous. So those who have not offered til or sesame, Deya Tulasi Til Deha Samarpinu Doya Jani Na Chudabimoy, that person who has not offered themselves, then he has no knowledge or realization. He is a fool. Those who have not offered themselves, then what else can they offer? Is the Lord a beggar? That, oh, you are offering me some bhog and giving me cloth and giving me some charity. Is the Lord come to take our charity? Is it such a small thing? Give yourself. Otherwise, everything else is useless. You are mine. But you try to be the creator and controller yourself, and then try to show yourself like some big master over me, and I am some beggar. Therefore the Lord does not take the bhog of someone who is not surrendered to Him. But if one is surrendered to Him, then He takes everything and anything they offer. So first, offer yourself. So first it is said, oh, all these people, they are demons, they are not human beings. Why? They themselves try to control everything. And they give me, like, oh, I am the creator, I am the master, the controller, I am offering you bhog, I am ringing the bell, eat it now. You are like a beggar, and I am dressing you. But that whatever I have, that is the Lord's already, how can we give it to Him? And you're saying, oh, you are coming to give me, like, show me your face, and to make my life successful. First, right, that all these people, they're all foolish demons. They're all demons, rakshasas. They're not devotees. What to speak of, they're not even humans. Why? The devotees, they will offer themselves to the Lord with sesame and tulasi leaves and manjaris. That person who is not surrendered, the Lord will not accept anything from that person. Therefore, the scriptures, everything is useless if they do not offer themselves. Now, write what I'm telling you. The doors were closed and Govindadev spoke this commentary, and Baladev Vijayabhushan wrote everything straight until it was done. He wrote the Govinda Vasya, and also he wrote Siddhanta Ratnam. Then, when he presented this in the assembly, everyone hearing this, they began to shake and were so afraid. He said, who are you to argue and use logic and argument and say that, oh, take away Radharani and Gufa Rukmini? Who made you the master? You think you are God or Kuda? You think you are Bhagavan? Who has given you the power or godliness? Who has told you to act like the Lord and Master? Who are you trying to use your own mind intelligence in front of? Like if there's a guru here, and guru says, if we go to tell guru, oh, this is not good, oh, you don't know how to do anything, this is wrong, that is wrong, then you are trying to become guru yourself and give orders to guru. So they are telling, they're telling the Lord Himself, take away Radharani and give Rukmini. It's like they were telling the king, oh, do not keep Radharani here, take Radharani away. So Baladev Vijayabhushan spoke so strongly in the commentary. He said that person who has not offered themselves, they are like a dog. A dog is better than them. Why? The dog sits at the door and is humble. But that person who has not offered themselves to the Lord, they are worse than an animal. They're worse than like a dog and a hog. And that person, if the Lord's names do not reach one's ears and go in the heart, and they do not accept the Lord, they are like atheists and have no good etiquette. They are a demon and an animal. Then what can you respond? Therefore, what is the meaning of a sesame yagya? Every moment. Til also means like a moment. So every moment we should offer to the Lord. That person, therefore, who does til yagya, til dhan, til bhog, til malish, til massage, yagya, and so forth. Ekadashi Devi says, every moment of theirs will never be destroyed or lost. Everything will be properly engaged. And everything will be for the pleasure of the Lord. And they will become yog yukta, or fully connected to the Lord. Therefore, Ekadashi Devi today herself told all these sages like this and engaged them in the Lord's service. In this way, she did arti, yagya, bhoga, gave charity, dan, then havan or sacrifice. Today, Ekadashi arranged everything. Therefore, this Ekadashi became named Sat-tila Ekadasi. Today is also Pakshavardhani Mahadwadasi. Yesterday was Sat-tila Ekadasi. But when Pakshavardhani comes, then Ekadashi and Dwadasi come together, and one should follow Dwadasi day, the next day. Otherwise, if one only does Ekadashi and neglects Dwadasi, it is offense to Mahadwadasi. That is another katha. There was one story in the Puranas. There was a girl named before, the kings would always take the advice of Brahmins, rishis, and sages. So when the king had a daughter, he named her Til. He said, there's no more nice, sweet name than Til. Til. So he gave her the name Til, which is also sesame. So the princess had this name, and she had all good qualities. And also she would follow Ekadasi and all vrats and worship the Lord. Then the king, from the beginning, he was very happy to see his daughter and her character. He said, oh, she is serving the Lord so much, she is so surrendered. If the Lord accepts her, or takes her as his own, then I will understand that my austerity is proper. Everyone said, oh king, you want to kill your daughter? That how will she go with her body? This body is made of the 5 elements: flesh, bones, stool, urine. Then how can this body go to the Lord? So if you say that I will offer her to the Lord, then how can you offer her with her physical body? If you say like that, that means she will have to lose that body. She will have to go with her soul body. The king doesn't understand this. People were thinking like that because this word got out. Then we cannot see her. So why does the king want to give her? As long as she has this body of 5 elements, let her do tapasya. After, when she leaves her body, then everyone goes one day or another to the Lord. Let her go after that. But the king said no. If she is my real daughter, then she will be like the bride of the Lord himself, and the Lord will have to accept her. He was very stubborn like this, and he was doing so much austerity as well. But Tiluttama, she had no mood like this. She was always worshipping the Lord, and she's not independent. Without the Lord, she had no independent desire. She was always serving. As long as we have an independent desire, that means we are very far away from the Lord. And as much as we are surrendered, that much our desires will be lost. We'll have no desire. Whatever the Lord desires, then we will have that as our desire, and we'll always be lost in His service. So he thought, I want to give Kanyadan, my daughter, in charity. He was thinking like this: who will I give her to? I only want to give her to the Lord himself. He was worshipping Shalagram. And he would worship her with Ganga Jal, worship the Lord with Ganga Jal, and so forth. The queen said, now you have given your daughter in charity. If you say like this, that is like giving it. If you have taken a vow or spoken it, that means that is already you have given. So the queen said, oh, you have already given her away. The king said, no, I want to see it directly. The queen was saying, no, he has already accepted, you have spoken it, he has accepted. But he said, I want to see it directly. On the day of Ras Purnima, she was very qualified, and that day they arranged nice garlands and flowers, and the temple was very nicely decorated. And then she was decorating it with her own hand, and making a flower throne and flower dress and nice boga, nice offerings, and the kirtan was going on. Then the king came to see, and he said, oh, today it looks like a wedding altar. Has Ras Bihari come today? Today, certainly he has come, and he is hiding somewhere. And he saw that she was dancing so nice with her friends, Sakis, and decorating the temple so nice, it was like unprecedented. And all the boga was also so nicely, itra, or the fragrance of all the perfumes was coming in the air. And it was like an amazing vision, and he was very happy seeing this. Then, a little later, he saw a beautiful boy coming, very nicely decorated. He was also a young, beautiful boy, a youth. The king said, oh, why did I take this vow? Otherwise, I took a vow to offer her to the Lord, but otherwise I would give her to this beautiful boy. Then the boy said, oh, that person who you have called, he has come directly. How can I accept that or know that? Oh, how will I accept you? He said, oh, I want Giriraj, I want Jamuna, I want the forests and the groves of Vrindavan. I also want your cowherd boyfriends. Otherwise, if you are here alone, how will I give you my daughter? I need all your friends here, all your places here. Then I will give my daughter to you. Krishna devotees are very crafty and tricky. If you ever go to Navadvip Dham, if I have fortune, I will show you. There, with all his friends, with Giriraj, Govardhan, with everyone, Krishna had to come. And he came, and that day he married the princess. And the king was so happy. However, the daughter and the Lord, they were on the wedding altar. And they had the wedding as their life form, like as their before them in the manifest vision. And then the next morning, the daughter, the princess, and Krishna, the boy, both were present as Murtis. And this is present now also. There is 108 Shivji Murtis in a nearby temple. And this is now under like the government control. But the temple is there and it is opened regularly for darshan. So, on this day, the king offered her to Krishna and they had the wedding in the evening time, and the next morning they were both Murtis. The king and queen didn't stay so long afterwards. They also both left to the transcendental abode. Also, now the rule is everywhere on this Sat-tila Ekadasi, those who follow this on this day with mantras of the Vedas, one worships the Lord and does sacrifices and so forth. There's another story in the Puranas in South India. There are very qualified divine Brahmins and Tanvir, Survir, many great devotees came. South India is described to be like Vaikuntha. It is very auspicious and pure. So, when Ekadashi Vrat comes, in Udupi, there is Gopalji, Madhyachari arranged that everyone stays up all night and does kirtan and Nirjala Vrat. And from 2 in the morning, they begin the Lord's Abhishek and Archan. And it's very nicely done. At that time, they make Dilkut, a special kind of sesame sweet. And without sesame, they will not do boga. They make such big ladus, like footballs, and they're very soft and light also. And without this football-sized laddu, they will not make an offering. They have to have these ladus. They said if you make a laddu without some sesame in it, it is very considered offensive to the Lord. So they chant Veda mantras and then offer this. They also have they have fields of sesame plants that they cultivate. There's a story of Divya Suri. In his house, he would have a lamp. And at that time, they have no electric lights and so forth. They would have lamps. So he would use sesame lamps. Like you go to the temples and you see they have lamps or sesame lamps. In South India, you will see they have 1 lakh lamps or 1 crore lamps. They have hundreds of thousands of lamps that they offer every night. In Guruvayur, on all 4 sides of the temple, they have 1 crore, 1 million lamps. And people are all thousands of people are going there just to fill up the lamps and light all the lamps. It is very beautiful to see. So that Brahma Divya Suri, however much he would offer oil in the lamp, it would all very quickly disappear. So also he saw that if a poor person came and offered a little bit of sesame oil, it would burn all night. Even a little bit of oil. But then he went to the king and said, "Oh, in your kingdom, you have a pujari. I make so many different lamps, but they do not stay all night. They very quickly are extinguished. But I see one beggar, he will regularly give a Deepak lamp, and it will burn all night, even with a little oil." So he said, "Okay, you are the Sevak, ask Thakurji yourself." Then the king prayed to the deity. When he prayed like this, then the Lord said, I don't like that oil. I want sesame oil. He was using a different oil before. The poor person, he was offering a little oil, but it was sesame oil, so it was burning all night because the Lord was very happy. So in South India, if you see at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, so many people will come and they will bring sesame oil, and they will all put the sesame oil in the lamps and prepare it, and then when it is sunset, then they light all the lamps, and it looks like Deepavali every day. So the king arranged this. The Lord himself said, I want sesame oil lamps. And when you make these lamps, then it is said, he said to the king, you have no enemy, and if the enemy comes to attack you, he will be destroyed very quickly, as long as you offer these sesame lamps. Therefore, in South India, however much India was attacked, still they could not take over South India. Tirupati as well, and Srirangam, and Madurai, Kanyakumari, in all these places, in the evening, look, they have so many beautiful lamps. It is like a Deepavali every day. The Lord will not accept other kinds of oils in lamps. Sometimes when we have Deepavali here, I asked Gurudev once what to do. In Manasi Ganga, Gurudev would go and offer thousands and thousands of lamps. They would all take them in plates on their heads, and then we would go and light them and offer them at Manasi Ganga. If you ever go there to Radhakund for Deepavali, you will see on all 4 sides of Radhakund, on top of the water, as well as on all the different stairways, all the different ghats on all sides, it is only ghee lamps. Also, Jamuna is like that. But in South India, there is the most. So Ekadashi Devi said, if Tamasa ma Jyotirga Maya, if you want to come out of the darkness into the light, if you want to go to the Lord's abode, then offer lamps made with sesame oil, and the Lord will be pleased, and you will be able to see the Lord with this light. And also, then other lights will not work, but this light will work, and you will be able to go to the transcendental abode. There are so many things you can hear, but if you apply it in your own life, it will be beneficial. Otherwise, just hearing is not enough. And if you study properly, then you can advance from one grade to another in the school. Otherwise, if you never pass one grade, then eventually you have to leave the school. So we should try to advance. So learn how to properly respect Ekadashi Devi. The Lord himself will not tell you what to do, but all instruction is there. Ekadashi Devi gives so much mercy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur opened Nam Hattas. If you went to different villages, village to village, and arranged marketplaces of the holy name, or assemblies where they would do Nam Hatta and Kirtan, and he preached like this. First of all, he preached in Orissa, then to Bengal, then to Bihar. Gradually, now the whole world has been submersed in Harinam. So let the Lord please give us His mercy, and Ekadashi Devi, may she please give us her mercy that we can take shelter of her lotus feet, and then our life will come outside of the darkness into the light, and we will be able to be filled with so much enthusiasm, and we will be able to follow these 6 limbs properly. Gaur Premanandi, Hare Bo.